Good morning, everybody. How are you? Is everybody happy? Happy as well as safe at your homes. Dear students, myself SP sir from Shubhrat Singh Student Academy. Students, once again welcome in my YouTube channel. Dear students, today that is on 24th September 2020, 24th September 2020. Dear students, today in our 12th business studies lecture, as we have already started our chapter controlling. In this chapter, you must be recalling that if you have seen my last video lecture. So in my last video lecture, I had discussed with you the controlling process. In that video lecture, a brief discussion was done that what is controlling process. Yes, dear students, I was saying that in the last video lecture, I had covered in this chapter, that is your chapter number 8, controlling. In this chapter, in the last video lecture, I had discussed with you the controlling process. A brief discussion was done on controlling process. I had explained you the different steps which are taken in controlling process. So today's lecture is the continuation of the last lecture itself. Today's topic is also same. The topic is controlling process. Controlling process but it is part 2 of that. Controlling process part 2. Why I am saying part 2? Because in the last lecture, the topic was same, no doubt, the controlling process. But in that, I had explained you the steps. Which are the steps, and a brief scenario I had tried to draw in front of you. And today, those steps which are taken in controlling process, I am going to discuss in detail So that's why I'm saying it is a controlling process part 2. We will learn the same topic, that is controlling process. Same steps I'm going to cover, but in detail we will discuss it. So what is the difference between the last lecture and this lecture? In the last lecture, brief discussion was there, and today we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, so steps are same, the points are same, but we are going to discuss in detail. So the first step in the controlling process, what is that? Yes, anybody? Because you have already learnt it, so you must recall the headings. Are you recalling? What was that first one? Nobody? It was setting performance standards. What was the first step? Setting. First one is setting performance standards. Setting performance standards. Dear students, as I told you that today we are going to discuss all the steps in detail. So in the last lecture, I had told you that the first step of controlling is to set the performance standards. Standards are those criteria on the basis of which the actual performance is measured. Standards are those criteria on the basis of the actual performance is measured. That is called as standards. Over here, the meaning which I told you, that criteria is key word, that standards are those criteria on which the actual performance is measured. What is the topic? Controlling process. And in that we are discussing setting performance standards. And I told you the meaning of standards. Standards means criteria. They are the standards which tell individuals' performance or department about their destinations. Criteria, standards on which the performance is measured. So standards are those things which tell the individuals or the departments that this is your destination and you have to achieve this. My dear students, if we talk about standards in detail, so we can say that a manager evaluates the actual performance on the basis of standards itself and find out the deviations. When we say standards, so standards can be classified as, means types of standards This can be classified as number one, quantitative standards, and number two, qualitative standards. Meaning we have already discussed, and now we are going to discuss the types of standards. I told you that there are two types of standards. Number one, quantitative, and number second is qualitative standards. Quantitative standards means certain figures will be set by the manager for the employees. Say for example, if we talk about the production department, over there the laborers, or we can say workers, are working on machines. They are working in shift, 8-hour shift. So over here that production manager can set a quantitative standard for that production department, that within this your 8-hour shift there should be the production of these many units. Suppose the production manager says in 8 hours shift the production department must produce 1000 units. So this is standard, quantitative standard, which has been set by the production manager, that within 8 hours of your duty, your department must produce total 1000 units. This quantitative standard can be set individually also in the same production department. How come? Total he said 1000 units for the entire production department. So suppose if we talk individually, suppose one machine is operated by one worker and total 10 workers are there. Total 10 workers are there, and manager has said that I want 1000 units in total. So you divide that 1000 by total 10 workers, because in that department total 10 machines are there, and individually on we can say that one machine is to one worker, the ratio is there, 10 workers are there, so 1000 divided by 10. So we get the 100 units per worker performance standard. So like this, standards are decided by the manager for employees or for workers, or we can say that for the subordinates which are working under the manager. This is called quantitative standard. This quantitative standard can be measured directly. Means if the department is achieving 1000 units of target, then manager will say that yes, you have achieved your destination, you have achieved your target. So it was the example of quantitative standard. The second one is qualitative standard. Qualitative. This qualitative standard cannot be measured numerically, because over here we talk about the quality. So quality of any worker cannot be described numerically. Yes or no? Do you agree with this? Yes, definitely. Because quality cannot be measured. Yes or no? So for example, we can say that increasing the morale of the employees, measuring the morale of the employees is standard of qualitative nature and it cannot be measured. I am giving you the example of morale of the employees. Now you think that how this morale of the employees will be measured, how the standards will be decided in case of this qualitative standard. So in order to measure the morale, we can say that we talk about the labor turnover rate, absenteeism and dispute. Labor turnover rate, absenteeism and dispute can be taken as criteria over here, and on the basis of this, the morale of the employee can be measured. What did I say? The turnover of the labor turnover, absenteeism as well as dispute. This can be taken as criteria over here, because it is qualitative and we have to measure the morale of employee. So if these three which I told you, the rate is increasing, means if the labor turnover, if the absenteeism and if the dispute level is more, then we can say that his morale is low. And if all these are low, means not increasing rate satisfactory, then we can say that the morale of the employee is high. Yes or no? In case the rate of all three is lower, it can be said that there has been an increase in the morale of the employees. So like these students, here we finish the discussion on the setting performance of the standards. First I told you the meaning of standards, then we discussed the types of standards. In this we discuss the quantitative as well as qualitative standards. The next one, the second one, we have to discuss over here, that is measurement of actual performance. So let me rub this first and then I will write it and we will discuss. Okay. The second step, we are going to discuss that measurement of actual performance. Over here, his actual performance, measurement of actual performance. So second one, measurement of actual performance. Measurement of actual performance. Measurement of actual performance. First step, under the heading controlling process, we discussed thus setting performance standards. After setting the performance standards, now the second one is measurement of actual performance. Dear students, while measuring the actual performance, the first question arises that how this actual performance of the employees will be measured. The standards which are set in the first step, those standards will be matched with the actual performance. Means what actually manager does while measuring the actual performance, he compares the standards with the actual performance, and like this it is measured. This can be done when the work is in progress. Work is in progress. As well as it can be done when the work is completed. When the work is completed, in both the situations, the manager can measure the actual performance. First one I have written over here, work is in progress at that time. When work is in progress at that time, the manager will measure the actual performance. Means what? When the workers are working, when they are doing the work, at that time the supervisor will supervise among the workers and he will try to find out the deviations in their work. He will try to find out deviations, and what should be kept in mind while measuring the actual performance is that the figures regarding work progress should, as far as possible, be completely true. These figures should be continuously prepared. The standards for measuring progress should be the same as were adopted at the time of determining standards. progress measuring system should be quick to point out deviations. So these points should be kept in mind while measuring the performance. So I was talking about that when the work is in progress, if at that time the performance is measured, then also will do, and if the work is measured when the work is completed, then also will do. Both have their plus and minus points. So for example, if the performance of the employees is measured, actual performance is measured when work is in progress. So what actually he is tries to find out, that whatever the standard is fixed, are the workers working according to standards? Have they begun their work according to standards? Then he will be assured that by following the same path, same route, we will be able to achieve our standard or the destination or the target. But over here, when the work is completed, and at that time if manager or the supervisor, whoever is measuring the actual performance, if at that time he is going to measure the actual performance of the work, of actual performance, then my dear students, the corrective actions cannot be taken over here because the work is already completed. This kept in mind, this you keep in mind, that work is already completed, so nothing could be done over here. Work is completed, so corrective steps cannot be taken now. Means now it is lost. What lost? The time is lost. Wastage of the resources, raw materials, etc. But one positive thing is there. One plus point is over here, that whatever the deviations, whatever the reasons will be found out, that will be taken into account next time. Means what? If after the completion of the work, the manager goes for measurement of actual performance, then he cannot take the corrective steps now to correct it. But whatever findings are there, whatever reason he found out, that can be implemented next time. For the next time, he can give instructions that dear workers, last time you did like this and that's why we could not achieve the target, so don't do the next time like this. So this plus point is, means that experience will be utilized in the next time. So like this, the second point also be computed, that is a measurement of actual performance. Dear students, next one, that is a third one, comparison of actual performance with standards. We are going to discuss now the third steps. Let me rub this first. Third one we are going to discuss, controlling process. The third step, 2 we have finished and 2 are remaining. So let's discuss the third one, that is Comparison of actual performance with standards. Comparison. Third one. Comparison of actual performance. Comparison of actual performance with standards. This is a third step. Over here, the manager will compare the actual performance with standards, and if any deviation is found out, then he may take the corrective actions. Dear students, when we talk about the deviations, it can be positive or it can be negative also, both the type of. In the controlling process, it is important to know the causes of negative deviations, but it is not less important to know about the causes of positive deviations. Positive and negative deviations. Say for example, if we talk about the quantitative standards, suppose that quantitative standard was fixed of 10 units. Quantitative standard was fixed of 10 units. If the target of 10 units is achieved, means it was target and the actual performance is also 10 units, then we said that zero deviation, no deviation. And if the standard was 10 units, but actual performance is 7 units, then over here we say that the deviation is negative. They could not achieve the targets. But if the standard was 10 units, actual performance is something, you may say that 12 units, then it will be called as the positive deviations. Positive. So I was talking about that finding the reasons for the negative. No doubt it is important, but it is also not less important to find out the reasons for these positive deviations, because the target was fixed of 10 units and the workers have achieved 12 units. It means that this experience can be taken positively and it will be implemented in deciding the next standards, or for improving the performance, it will be taken into account. So what is the conclusion now? That if the information received regarding the actual performance being more than the standards, the corrective actions can help in improving the efficiency in future that I told you. Over here we finish the third step, that is comparison of actual performance with the standards. One more point is remaining, one more step is remaining, that we will discuss in the next lecture. Today we will stop over here. Okay, thank you very much for kind cooperation. Have a nice day, enjoy yourself, and don't forget to like, share and comments. Okay, enjoy yourself. Once again, thank you very much.